Here we go!
Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started with a long shot with a center point perspective. What's characteristic of this shot is that our subject in the middle there, in the blue shirt, is visible, but everything else around him is visible as well. He's not taking up most of the shot. Most of the shot is actually of the people on Library Walk, the canopies on the right that are, as you can see, kind of fading into the horizon line because of that center point perspective. As you can see, Grant, our subject, is also on about the 1/3 line from the left side, which means he's spaced out about 1/3 of the frame away from the left border, following the rule of thirds. In our next shot, a full wide shot, the subject is once again fully visible, but is now the main subject of the shot. The people and other objects in the background are part of the shot, but only serve to fill in the negative space, while Grant is the dominant object here. He is also centered along the right 1/3 line according to the rule of thirds, and has some nice head space to go along with him. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next shot, the American wide or medium wide shot, where we have me standing on a block. And as you can see, my legs are cut off at around the shin to the knee level, which is characteristic of the American shot. I am still the main subject of the shot, and as you can see, I am still along the 1/3 line according to the rule of thirds, which is almost always a good thing. Alright, fast forward a couple of minutes and we have me once again reading a magazine as we film the medium shot, which is a little different from the medium wide shot because as you can see, I am now cut off at the waist instead of at the legs. I am still along the 1/3 line, which is almost always a good thing like I said before, but this time we have a trash can and a neat bicycle filling up that negative space on the left side so that we don't lose any points. Zooming in here, we have the close-up shot, which is a little different from the other shots because as you can see, most of the body is actually obscured and out of the shot, and you can only see Grant, our subject, from the shoulders and up. One thing to note is that the 1/3 line is not along his head, the center of his head, but actually in between his eyes where the bridge of his nose is. Moving right along, we have Daphne here for the extreme close-up shot, and as you can see, the bottom of her face and the top of her head are actually cropped by the frame of the shot. So the extreme close-up shot actually focuses on purely the facial features. There's no head space, there's no space below the head either, and as always, her nose is right along that 1/3 line. Damn, Kevin, back at it again with the modeling skills. Alright guys, here we have an eye level shot, which is pretty self-explanatory. As you can see, the camera is placed at my eye level, so you're getting a full frontal view of just about everything. We also have a nice center point perspective going on here. As you can see, I am much bigger than the objects in the back, and I am also along the 1/3 line with my nose in the center, just like every other shot that we've done here today. Alright guys, here to present our next shot, the low angle shot, we have Grant, our friendly neighborhood dinosaur, who as you can see is towering above the camera with his arms spread wide. The characteristic of a low angle shot is that the camera is at a lower angle compared to the subject. As you can see, the 1/3 line is also right in between Grant's eyes, just like before, and we have some nice head space and some trees to cover that negative space on the left side. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and switch places here for our high angle shot featuring Daphne, who's looking extremely edgy there with a skateboard and a backpack there in the background, signifying that she is in fact cool and hip. As you can see, the 1/3 line is once again right in between the eyes. She has a lot of headspace to work with, and the backpack and the skateboard are closing up that negative space quite well and adding a little bit of detail and a little bit of edge to the shot. Alright, so for our very last shot, we have our bird's eye view shot, named such because this is the angle that a bird would have if perched upon a roof, which is essentially what I am doing here. I'm about 1 story up from the stairs, shooting down at Daphne, who is right on the 1/3 line to the right side, on a block right in front of Library Walk. This is a very cool shot. We've got some lines coming in from the top, leading lines going down into the middle, and overall, because this is a high angle shot, you're able to get kind of a different angle from the people walking around her, just from her, from the architecture around her. Overall, super cool shot. And now Daphne's going to walk out very dramatically.